but there was 2 quarterback controversy guys, and they're going to be on all their all-star teams. And I'm not going to mention who they are because that wouldn't be right. But there were guys in quarterback battles who are going to highlight some of our all-division teams, all county, all shore, all region, all group, and all class. So we're going to be doing our whole all-star package next week. Hope you guys enjoy it. There'll be 30 videos going out. And our sponsor, AccuCare, who's awesome, is our proud sponsor for all the all-star teams. So we're going to a lot of good names are going to be out there. And I think that's the fun part of media is letting people know, recognition. There's a lot of good football players out there.
Yeah, it's great and it's exciting, but you also might need to brace yourself for he only got second team?
Yes.
He's not even on third team?
Right.
What are you, idiot? Have you even seen this kid play?
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you really want to be part of the media, that's your official trial by fire is the backlash to your
real simple. Select. I just say, you have an issue, you call Scott Stump. Here's his number. But you point the finger, Brett.
No, it's hard. I mean, it's really hard. Every year, I like it was interesting today. I was just looking at candidates and stuff. Because the other time is you have coaches arguing for team success.
Yeah.
Hey, we were the number 1 team. We're the number 2 team. Or we led the Shore in all total rushing yards. We should get 2 offensive linemen on first team, not 1. I don't want to have to choose between this guy and that guy. And I think that's also a really difficult spot for coaches too, because a lot of times you put them on the spot. I've done it over the years where you say, look, we really only have 1 slot for your lineman on this first team. Who's it going to be? You got to give me a name, one or the other. And they're like agonizing over it because they know they're probably going to get a hard time from the parents of the one they didn't pick.
I make all the coaches rank their kids. Yep.
Yeah. And I think that's hard because in their mind, they might think, oh, this kid's better. And then you have the other yearly conundrum, which is always hard of this kid has 1 million offers and he's a very talented prospect with his potential.
Yeah.
But did he have as great of an actual season on the field as this other guy who's not going to, play for Alabama next year? He might only be like a Division II player, but he had a much better season on the field. So I think that's always a really tough balance to strike. So all I'm saying is good luck, Rob. I think you're going to do a great job. I will say this. You put in the work. You really do study all the video you can. You talk to all the coaches you can.
I'm bored.
As many as you can. So to me, that was always the thing. If you're going to do these teams, you can feel good at night going to bed knowing I put in the work. I talked to as many people as I could. I watched as much as I could. I saw them as much in person as I could. So let the chips fall where they may after that. But it's an exciting time because I also one of those people that likes looking back on them years later and being like, wow, look at that all-shore team. They had 6 guys who were major college players and or this all-shore team had Quentin Nelson and Mike Gesicki and,
Don't mention a name. Don't mention a name, but I've heard your name come out where you scarred a person for life because he made second team, not first.
No,
Don't mention it.
Yes, I've gotten feedback like a decade later about how they're so mad.
In their wedding vows and all that.
Yeah. It's important to a lot of these guys, and I get it. They're passionate about the sport and they're passionate about their accomplishments. So I understand that part of it. But some guys, it really sits with them for a really long time, which is not healthy. Like, as somebody who I myself was a second team all-shore player in basketball, as a senior, just missed out on the last first team all-shore spot. And it was, sorry, blah, blah. Like, the sun comes up the next day. It's not the end of the world. Like, if that's the worst thing that's going to happen in your life, you're going to have a pretty good life. So, don't get too bent out of shape about it. And plus, there's so much media now that covers the Shore Conference. If you don't get first team from one, you might get it from another. So
you might get it for us. Oh, listen, I love it. The thing that we do here is that we put more kids and we have extending a third team, fourth team, fifth team for some of our divisions. An all freshman team, sophomore, junior, senior. There's many different puzzles that these kids get onto things, but I think it's fun. You're always going to get the ups and downs. Usually it's apparent, anonymous, a burner Instagram person all of a sudden with one follower is attacking you, but That's
That's
you
the
know
way
good
it
and bad.
goes. Again, and I think the other thing was making hard decisions.
Yeah.
There's an urge. To me, I think you have to resist the urge to just go, well, everybody's on first team and
Yeah.
we'll have 5 quarterbacks because we don't want to have to decide between some of these guys. I mean, some years it really is crazy where you might have 3 or 4 guys at a position that are just sheerly
Yeah.
incredible, and to leave them off. And I try to like to have the same amount of players,
Yes.
whether it's okay, maybe this year we have 3 running backs and a tight end, and then one year there's not many good tight ends, but there's a ton of great wide receivers, so we have 4 of those. But like, yeah, I'm not a big fan of the, everybody gets honorable mention. Like I like to make the hard decisions because the players want to know, like, was I better than that guy, or like, how was I viewed? Was it, when they do the hierarchy of the tour, how did I fit in all that?
You were very good at not only naming the team but explaining why. You were very good at that. You were very good at that. And maybe you might not be right, but here's my reasoning. Bing, bing, bing. And you were very good and thorough with that. That's why your reputation is really, really good with that. So, yeah. So that's the good and bad of all-star teams. Like you said, some will come out tomorrow, but there's always those dads. I could give you the top 10, people that bust chops. Like if I didn't dot the I across the T, I was off by 3.
As much as sometimes that it's hard to listen to people with harsh words for you, and that's part of the job. I think the other thing was, hey, they're reading, they're excited about your opinion. Your opinion means something to them, which to me that was in a weird way was like flattering, even as they're cursing me out.
Right.
It obviously mattered to them that what the teams were. That our opinion mattered to them. So, I understand. And when it's your kid, you can take it personally. I get it. You don't want to see your son crushed when he looks at some list and sees he's not where he thinks he should be on it. But that's just part of it. I mean, that's part of the whole thing. You want to recognize the best of the best, and that's going to leave some people with their feelings hurt. But, to me,
Scott, I believe this. I believe this, though. Kids know where they lie. It's all the extras that get it. If you put 7 quarterbacks in a room and say, guys, I want you to line up to who's the best, the first to last, I think they kind of would be in somewhat of an order. I think they would. It's all the other things that manipulate it that gets it kind of crazy. I really believe that. And when I was coaching, if I said, guys, line up to the order of depth chart, they kind of would. So I think kids know. But sometimes they have this block in their head and, why I'm getting screwed over, I'm getting this, blah, blah, blah. But, that's the good and bad of all-star teams. It really is. So,
and I also think it's a great measure of how the classes stack up against each other, where you'll say, wow, look how many sophomores are on this all shore, or wow, it was all seniors this year. What a senior class it was, and that, and I think it's also like, it will be great that you have sophomore and freshman teams because it lets people know this is the next wave of talent that will be taking over the shore. These will be the guys in the player of the year discussion and all state discussion going forward. You recognize them when they're young, and that gets their name out there. Maybe a college coach is scanning that list and says, hey, I didn't know about this guy. Let me give him a look. Maybe that gets a short kid recruited, which, hey, that's what we would love for that to happen as a byproduct.
Guy, I have OCD.
Coaches, especially at smaller schools in the old days, follow me because I'd bring up a kid or show a video and they'd say, oh, wow, we need to take a look at that guy.
I have OCD. I have 1,200 players from class of 2027 to the seniors of 2023, and I have a bio, a resume. I have everything. Colleges get it. They get it from me. I have fun with it. This underclass group, when you see the all-star team, is loaded. Juniors, sophomores, and freshmen. There's a lot of excitement going to happen in these next couple years. We got a lot of guys coming back, which going into the preseason is going to be exciting. And when we do our way too early top 10, there's some good teams. There's not going to be a lot of movement. There's some good teams that are loaded back. And I don't want to mention one over the other now, but there's a lot of topics we can talk about in the next couple weeks, and I'm proud. So let's just end it right now because we got a lot of stuff. I'm doing an all-star team tonight. We'll get back on in the near future next week. And once we start, every 2 days, a new team will come out. So Scott Stump, Rob Davis, Short Football Report, signing off. Congratulations to Tom Driven North and Rumson, and also let's not forget about Red Bank Catholic. They gave a valiant effort there, right? Talk to you.